Welcome to the first Activate Your Soul Food. I'm KWORKSFitness. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be here with Elevate Health. I appreciate them for the platform, for allowing me to be able to come here today and work you all through some body movement so that we can stimulate the body, so we can stimulate the brain. So the goal is to move the body, get it going, get it working, so that we can then stimulate the brain and have some positive conversations about how to make our goals more attainable, how to make them less overwhelming, and so we can see if we can set up a network of people who want to help each other grow together and be better together. Goals, affirmations, manifestation, taking it out of the dream spectrum. So basically what we're saying here is a lot of the times our goals seem so overwhelming because we make them so far-fetched. Not far-fetched because they can't be achieved, but far-fetched because we make them seem like dreams. Well, one day I'm going to. Well, one day I'm going to get to. Well, one day I'm going to make this happen. Well, one day is going to be. That's a goal of mine. And we're really thinking of dreams. We want to bring our dreams into reality and make them goals. We want to make them concrete. We want to make them real. We want to make them visceral. We want to make it something that we can feel so that we can then go about each day taking task after task to manage them. And before you know it, the goal is achieved and you can make it bigger, you can make it better in your life as well. So we're going to get down into some yoga, some active core work, just to get our minds working, get our bodies working so our bodies can feel good, because when your body feels good, your mind feels good. When your mind feels good, you think more productively. You work more productively. So we're going to get into it, a little bit of body movement, and then once we get into the goal catching session, I'll answer some questions for you. So get into it. Let's get down on the floor a little bit. I'm going to have a little bit of water. And then we'll get started. So if you're joining in on the yoga, all you have to do is just find a comfortable seat. Find a mat and a comfortable seat. And then we'll go into it. Today we're going to focus more so on sun salutations, okay? No. We're going to focus on sun salutations. I'm sorry, y'all. Sorry, I had a little technical difficulty in the background. Good morning, everybody. So we're here again. We're here to activate our soul food. Once again, what does that mean? We're stimulating the body. So we're going to work through some sun salutations, some active movements here. And we're just going to focus on stretching the body, waking up the blood flow, waking up the circulation. And then we'll sit down and have some talks about what a goal is, what makes it a goal, and how do we think about making it attainable. So I'm going to take a little bit of water and then we'll get started. So before we go into our active movement, I want you to take a couple of minutes, maybe one or two, and let's think about at least 2 goals that you want to accomplish. It doesn't matter how big, it doesn't matter how small. The purpose of it is to get the goals in your mind so that you can set them as intentions for your practice. So that's the whole purpose of it. 2 goals. You can consider them tasks, you can consider them daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals. But I want you to take 2 goals. Any 2 that come across your mind. You don't even have to think too hard on it. And I want you to use those as an intention for your practice. So as we start into our breath work before our sun salutation, use that breath to set that intention and get the mind focused on whatever goal we'll be talking about a little bit later. So you'll start in a comfortable seat with your goals in mind. It doesn't matter which ones. We want to raise the chest nice and high and pull the belly button in. So we want a nice high seat. From here, we want to drop the shoulders and allow the chin to naturally float up so that the neck is nice and open, but the head is neutral. From here, we're just going to breathe. Don't really focus on how you're breathing or how long that breath is or how short that breath is or any of that. Pay attention to those two goals that I set for you or that you set for yourself to think about. Just breathe here. Focus on the start to your day. How beautiful it is just to be able to wake up and breathe this morning. Having that beautiful opportunity, that gorgeous instance of awakening in the morning for us to be able to achieve our goals, because sometimes that's the hardest part, waking up, getting out the bed so that we can start our goals. Breathe. From here, I want you to focus a little bit more on your breath. So we're talking about deep inhales into the belly. So I'll turn to the side so you can see it. We don't want shallow breath work. We want nice full bellies. Breathing it in, pushing that air out. Breathing it in, pushing that air out. Breathing in new, fresh air. Exhaling anything out that doesn't serve us or that isn't going to help us get closer to our goals or our aspirations. Anything that is weighing us down, any negative self-speak, any negativity we feel from others, and even us just not being accountable to ourselves. I said I wasn't going to eat any fried food this week. I done had fried chicken 2 days in a row. What's going on with me? That ain't helping me get to my goals, unless your goal is just to eat more fried chicken, which is okay too. Breaths. In moderation though, we want to be balanced and healthy and happy. Remember that. So as we breathe, start to slow the breath down, make it more controlled. And then on your inhale, I want you to lift the chest and then take it over to the left. Lift the chest, take it over to the right. Exhale. Lift the chest, exhale over to the left. Lift the chest, exhale over to the right. Add your neck with it. Inhale, open the neck. Exhale, drop the head to the right as you take the chest to the left. Inhale, raise the chest, drop the head to the left as you take the chest to the right. keep this motion going. Remember, we're opening up and waking up the body this morning. That's the best way to get your thoughts moving. The best way to get your mind prepared for a productive day. Get the blood flowing. Get the head moving. Get the spine woken up. Get our nervous system activated. So that when we start talking about our goals, just getting up to get to that desk that we set up at our house because it's COVID and we still doing stay-at-home work. Having to get up and get out into that traffic. Our minds can be a little clearer. Our bodies can be a little more active so that we're not just waking our systems up and shocking it with an environment. And not just waking our bodies up and forcing it to go right into the day. It's a lot easier to achieve your goals when you ease yourself into productivity. You don't have to overwhelm, that's part of it. Bring yourself back to a nice neutral position. And then we're going to take our arms in circles. We're doing this again to just get the body warm. We're doing this with active breath, so make sure you're taking nice inhales and exhales. Inhaling the chest forward, exhaling the chest back. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad everybody's here. It's nice to see your beautiful faces. Let's get moving. Let's start working on goal catching. Once again, I don't like to say dream catching because dreams seem so far-fetched. It seems like something we can always push off into the distance, something we can always push off into the universe as a story or a fantasy or a fairy tale. When we say we're goal catching, oh, that's something we can get to. We can manage a goal. We can make a goal happen. A dream is when we sleep. A goal is when we're awake. It's something that we going after. We goal digging. We goal catching. We try to hold on to them things. We're not trying to let them float off into the universe. Take it to the opposite side. Warming the arms up also. You might feel a little bit of a burn, but that's okay because once again, we try to let the body know that we're ready for the day. That we're ready to make some stuff happen. So the best way to do that is to get it nice and warmed up. We're going to come back to a neutral spine and get into some side stretching. Take that left arm. Inhale it up, drop the shoulder. Look up into the ceiling. Exhale it down. Right arm up, inhale it. Look up into the ceiling, drop that shoulder. That's tension. When we raise the shoulder into the ear, that's tension. We don't want to be tense. If that shoulder won't stay away from the ear, find out what's stressing you out. Find out what's making you tense. Get that shoulder away from the ear. Breathe a little bit. Exhale it down. Inhale, push that shoulder away. Raise the neck. Take it back down. Inhale. Drop that shoulder. Release that tension. Don't hold on to it. Whatever it is, let it go. Exhale it down. Inhale that arm up. Let go of that tension. We don't need it. Exhale. One more time to each side. Inhale that right arm up. Let go of that tension. Whatever it is not helping you get to your goals. Exhale it down. Inhale that arm up. And then exhale it down. So we're going to go straight into our sun salutations. Your spine should be nice and warm, okay? So we're going to go into our tabletop. So, hands directly underneath the shoulders. You want to take your fingers at 11s. So take your index fingers, place them down in front of you on the mat. Spread the other fingers as wide as you can. Press your forward weight into your hands so there's a beautiful grip. Take your knees and bring them directly under your hips so that your spine can be neutral and happy. We don't want it pressed together. We don't want it too overly expanded because we'll hyperflex our back. That doesn't feel good. That creates tension. We want a nice neutral spine. Squeeze the shoulders away. From here, we're going to take a beautiful inhale. Push the chest forward. Now curl the toes under as you keep the chest pushed forward. And then instead of inhaling into our down dog, we want to exhale. Push the belly in, lift the hips up, squeeze the heels back. Round the shoulders toward the ground, press and breathe. Beautiful good morning stretch. I have a puppy. His name's Freddie, by the way. He got an Instagram. Y'all can go follow it, Freddie Mercury the pup. I know that's extra, but you know, he got goals too. Who say he don't want to be an Insta celebrity? I don't really want it for him. I just think it's cute to show people pictures all at once. But Freddie Mercury the pup, that's he. And every morning, the first thing he does, let me stretch my back body. Let me get them hips nice and open. And then of course he goes into his down dog, which we're not going to do. You're still in your down dog. I'm going into an up. Every morning that's what he does. And that's just to wake the body up and get his blood flowing. So even he know what he doing when he wake up. Breathe it out. Breathe it out. Breathe it out. You can pedal the feet a little bit. Maybe take the hips around in a circle in your down dog just to get those hips nice and warmed up, especially us as women. Our hips are a lot more wide set. So when we sleep all night, when we sit all day, we end up with sciatic pain and a lot of nerve problems in the hips, or just stiff hips in general. From sitting on all that donk. So it's good to get it moving. Now from here, we're just going to squeeze the right leg up. We're not going to inhale it back just yet. We'll go through some active movement soon. Just lift that right foot off the ground so you can get used to keeping yourself square to the mat. So I'll show you with my left side so you can see it. So keep the hands pressed into the mat. Squeeze that left foot up so you can get used to squaring your hips down. But we're going to do it with the right. So we're going to lift that right foot up, bring our knee into our chest, and then all we're going to do is walk forward. That's it. Just walk forward. Nothing too hard. Forward fold. Nice and beautiful. Take the shoulders side to side. Get some beautiful breath work in here, inhaling and exhaling, working the spine a little more, going into those hamstrings. Sit your weight forward into your toes, push the hips back. Take your hands, big inhale, dig down into the earth, exhale up, bring the chest forward, drop the shoulders. We don't need that tension. Let the hands come down, beautiful mountain pose. Working through our sun salutation, inhale the arms up, drop the shoulders down. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands down on your mat in the front. Make sure you squeeze a little weight into the fronts of the hands so that you can get that grip. And then from here, we're going to go down into a plank. We're playing around with our sun salutation just a bit. We're going to hold here for 4, for 3, belly up, wide shoulders, 2, and 1. You have 2 options here. You can lift the right leg if that's accessible to you. We don't want to stress our bodies out, so don't force it. This is more about conversation and body movement. Or you can just take the right knee up, whichever is going to be best. If you choose, you can inhale the right leg up, squeeze it through, and drop that knee forward. We're going into a low lunge. From here, press that right foot down into the mat. Squeeze the toes of that left foot down. Squeeze the hands down. Inhale, press the hips up. Squeeze that chest forward. Nice, beautiful breath here. Open the body up. Exhale, squeeze into a twist to the right side. Opening the arms and extending. Exhale. Inhale, reverse or exalted. Hold it here and stay strong in your posture. Square everything back up. Inhale the arms forward. Exhale the hands down around the foot. Press the hands into the ground first. Squeeze the belly and the hips up. And then with control, press weight into that front right foot. Bring the left to meet. Forward fold. And breathe. You can go into some spinal rolls here. So pulling the belly in and letting it fall. Squeezing the belly in, letting it fall. Inhaling the belly in, exhaling, letting it fall. Place a little more weight into the fronts of the feet, into your toes. Squeeze the hips back so the feet are firmly planted. Take both hands. Inhale down into the earth, squeeze it up. Let the shoulders drop, chest forward, and breathe. Let the hands fall down. Any tension that you've been carrying through the day, let it fall with it. Going into that other side, inhale the arms up, lift the chest. Exhale, bring the hands around the feet. Press weight forward into those hands so that you have a nice strong base. We're going to take the right foot back first this time. Squeeze the left foot back. Pull into the belly and we'll hold here for 5. Nice hips down and strong. We're going to round the back just a little so we can pull the belly in. Not hyper, just nice and strong. 2 and 1. Just like with the other side, depending on your range of motion and your accessibility, you can either squeeze the foot forward to go into that lunge, or inhale, pull the belly in and bring it forward. Both is beautiful. Movement is the most beautiful part. Either way gets you to the same position. And remember, completion is the goal, not perfection. We'll talk about that in our goal catching session. From here, press the weight into the hands, press the weight into that front foot, then start to squeeze weight down into the toes of the back foot. Press the hands down. Inhale, squeeze the hips down, raise the chest. Open up. Nice and strong here. Big inhale. Open ourselves up into a twist to the left side. Big inhale. Exalt yourself. Give yourself some praise. Open it up. Square everything back up. Exhale. Inhale the arms back up. Exhale the hands around the foot. Press weight into the hands. Squeeze the belly in. Squeeze the hip up. Push your weight into that left foot. Press the foot down. And with control, we lift. and we forward fold. Can y'all see me? There we go. And forward fold. We're going to take our hands over to our left calf. Pull and twist to the left side. We're going to take our hands to the right calf. Pull and twist to the right side. We're going to bring ourselves to the center. Bring our hands behind our calves. And go into those spinal rolls again. Inhale, pull the belly in. Exhale, drop forward. Push weight into the toes. Inhale, pull the belly in. Exhale, drop forward. Push weight into the toes. Inhale, pull the belly in. Exhale, drop weight into the toes. On your next exhale, so take one big inhale, exhale the hands down to the feet. You might be a little bit longer, that's beautiful. We want flexibility in everything that we do. Even when we're trying to catch our goals, we want flexibility. Because we never know what might happen. Life might be a part of it. So we're going to take our hands, place them in front of our face. From here, take the left foot back. You might have to squeeze the right foot up a little bit. Drop that left knee down. And then from here, inhale the arms up. Take that left hand to the outside of that right knee. Drop the right hand down and twist. Bring it back to center. Place the hands around the foot. We're going to squeeze our right hip back and forward fold. We're not going to stay here long. We're going to bring ourselves forward. Exhale ourselves back. Inhale ourselves forward. Exhale ourselves back. And then we're going to switch sides. So press the left toes down into your mat, lift that back leg, and just do a quick shift. Drop that knee down, uncurl the toe on the right side, inhale and lift. Take that right hand to the outside of the left knee, drop that left hand back and twist. Hands go around that left foot. Send that left hip back, forward fold. We're not going to stay here long. We're going to inhale forward. Exhale it back. Inhale it forward. Exhale it back. Inhale it forward. Press weight into the hands. Squeeze that left foot back with the right. Bring the big toes to touch. Bring the knees out wide on your mat. Give a strong press. Drop the hips down to the mat. Forehead will touch. And breathe. Stay in your child's pose. Go back to your thoughts on your goals. stay in that child's pose, allow yourself to breathe, 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 and think about your goals. That's what we're here for. And then once you think that the movement that we have started has kind of subsided, I can't see y'all, has kind of subsided, take a comfortable seat. Just take a comfortable seat, okay? And we're going to talk about goal catching. So we're not going to talk too quickly on it today. We're not going to talk too long about it today, I should say. Because we did a lot of active body movement. What we basically want to do is get acquainted with our goals. So this will get us started. Next week, if you come back next week, you will come back next week because we're going to get these bodies moving. We're going to get our minds functioning. We're going to get these goals lifted off the ground and sit up into the stratosphere because that's what we want to do. We want to make every goal its best. We want to make all of our lives their best. We want to make all of ourselves our best. We want to put them crowns on and be the best kings and queens we can be. The way we do that is achieving our goals. So whatever 2 goals you thought about while you moved your body, whatever 2 goals you set up for yourself as you go out into the day, because this is just the start of it, as you go out into your day, keep those 2 goals at the forefront. Keep those 2 goals at the center of your mind. Okay? Because 1 thing's for certain and 2 things for straight. If you keep something on your mind, if you keep something as a reminder, eventually 1 of 2 things is going to happen. Either you're going to get tired of thinking about it and you're going to throw it away, or you're going to get tired of thinking about it and you're going to do it. So that lets you know how serious you are about that goal. We'll talk about that in just a second. Let me get just a little sip. Just a little sip of some water. I'm thirsty, y'all. Not for nobody, but for this water. I'm just waking up. You know what I'm saying? All right, so let's talk goal catching, right? What does that mean? Like I said before we started our body movement, like I said before we started working and stimulating our body, so our mind should be nice and awake because we did some sun salutations, we got some things going, we got our blood pumping, we got our circulatory system moving, we got our nervous system pulsing and sending out signals. So now our brain is working too because it's like, oh, we're awake. So now let's talk about our goal catching. So like I said before, we think about dream catchers. People put dream catchers in their house because they say it keeps away, the bad energy. It collects the bad, the bad energy, the bad dreams, and sends the positive through. We want to think about it in that way. We want to think about goals in the same way, but we don't want to think of goals as dreams, in my opinion. In my opinion, when we think about goals as dreams, it makes them far off. It makes them something that we can just continue to just be admired by. It makes it something that we can just be enamored by. Oh yeah, I do want to start that company one day. That would be amazing. I do want to have that house one day. That would be so dope. That's a goal of mine. I do want that car. Man, that's a goal. That's my dream car. Oh, I do want that family. Oh, that's it. And we look at it, and then 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 we look at it as a dream. When we think of goal catching, when we think of things as goals, as concrete goals, then we can make active steps and tasks each and every day to get closer to it. That doesn't mean it's going to happen tomorrow or next week or maybe even next month. But what it does mean is when you think of something as a goal, it makes it real. It takes it out of that dream space. It takes it out of that faraway place where we can just look at it and just be admired by it, or just admire it and just, feel love that we have it. And it brings it into reality. And it says, okay, if this is a goal, then that means I can achieve it. If this is a goal, that means I can set up a task list. If this is a goal, that means, guess what? I can set up mini goals. I can set up small goals each day to get to that bigger goal. It makes it more attainable. Okay? So what we want to think about is not looking at our goals as daydreams, as fantasies, as some days, as one days. And we want to take our goals and make them tangible. This is something I'm going to achieve. I want to lose 30 pounds. I'm going to do it. That's a goal of mine. So in the search for my goal, I'm going to set up small tasks every day to get me to that 30 pounds. Instead of me only drinking 1 bottle of water, I'm going to drink 3. That's my small goal to get to my larger goal. Instead of me going to churches, I might go to Zoe's Kitchen. So yeah, I'm still eating out, but the food that I'm eating is different. So that's a small goal that takes me to my bigger goal. Instead of me coming home after work, I'm going to go to the park and take at least 1 lap around the park. So instead of me being sedentary, now I'm moving. It's the same with any goal. It's about making it tangible each and every day, not overwhelming yourself by saying, I'm going to have a Fortune 500 company. That's beautiful. Self-speak. That's what we want. We want positive self-speak. So yes, say it. Make it real. Manifest it from your lips to the universe. Make it something that the universe and the world hears. So that energy can be sent out. But after you say you want to have that Fortune 500 company, let's take that goal and bring it back down to where we are now. When I say bring it back down, that don't mean that you aren't up. It means what can we do today to get to that Fortune 500 company tomorrow, a year from now? What service am I going to use? What product am I going to sell? What mediator service? So am I going to be a connector? Is that going to be how I'm going to get my Fortune 500 company? What's the idea? Do I make the most bomb corn casserole in the world so the world got to try it? And I know once they try my corn casserole, then they're going to want to try my cornbread. Then they're going to want to try my corn muffins. Then they're going to want to try my corn fritters. Then they're going to want to try my corn nuggets. And that's how I'm going to get to my Fortune 500 company. Make it tangible. So maybe today I'm going to work on my corn casserole recipe. I know it's good. Everybody tells me it is. But I've never written down the recipe. Start there. First, let me write down the recipe. Now that I got my recipe written down, now let me play around with it a little bit. Now that I done played around with it a little bit, now let me give it out to a couple of people. See how they feel about it. That makes it less overwhelming for you. What can you do on a day-to-day basis? Once again, we're just having a conversation. What are goals? Goals are things that we can physically and tangibly set, even in our mind, to actively work toward so that we can get to a point of self-evaluation. That's what a goal is. A goal is something that we can actively set in our mind or physically down on paper so that we can give ourselves deadlines, timelines, and checkpoints. So then at the end of that checkpoint, we can do self-evaluation. That's how we make it real. That's how we stop saying to ourselves, my goal is, and being so overwhelmed by it that we never get to it. That's how we start catching them. First, we have to know what a goal is. One more time, because again, this is just the start. When we get to next week, we'll start talking about how to set deadlines, how to create a self-evaluation, how to create manageable tasks. I'm setting a goal for myself there. This is what we're doing next week. How to set deadlines, how to set self-evaluation, how to create manageable tasks. That's my goal for next week, to have that prepared for you. A goal is something physical and task-oriented that we put in our minds so that we can then create a deadline. I want to have this done by the end of the month. Then we create checkpoints. Well, if I want to have this done by the end of the month, this is what I need to have done by the end of the week. This is what I need to have done by the end of the day. And then self-evaluation. At the end of that month, what did I get accomplished? Did I do this? Did I set forth, is my goal attained? If it isn't, then it's easier for you to be able to go back through your checkpoints to see where you had areas of opportunity. Not mistakes, not weaknesses, excuse my curse, but not fuck ups. Just where are the areas of opportunity? I said I was giving myself a month to get this goal handled. I said I was going to do this each week. Did I do this each week? I did it. Okay, there's number one. I said these are the tasks that I was going to set forth. Did I do them? Yes or no? So going into the next month, because we don't beat ourselves up, because if we're going to achieve a goal, we continue toward it. We don't give up. Going into the next month, now that I've self-evaluated, what can I change going into the next month so that I'm more successful toward reaching my goals? So as we end, it's going to be 30 minutes every week. This one went a little long, but I want you to take one goal, nothing too big, so nothing that's too hard to get to by next week or to think about by next week. I want you to take one goal, put it down on paper, and think about what are some tasks, or what is one task. Don't make it, what is one task that I can do every single day to get me to that goal? So once again, we're doing checkpoints, deadlines, and self-evaluation. Checkpoints, deadlines, self-evaluation. Set your goal. Give yourself the checkpoint of every day. Every day I'm going to do this. And then by next week, we're going to self-evaluate. Did we do what we said we were going to do every single day? One task. That's all we need for this week to the next, okay? So again, set your goal. Get yourself ready. Next week is going to be 11 o'clock that we'll meet with each other. Next week it'll be 11 o'clock that we meet with each other. So you got a deadline of Friday, next Friday by 11 o'clock. This is my goal. This is my task every single day. And I know when I'm going to come back for self-evaluation. I'm going to do the same. All right? Remember, I love you. If you haven't taken time to love someone today or yourself, remember KWORKSFitness is telling you to. And I love you too. Until next time.